had auditioned for that role, I must say, fun fact.
Oh my!
Kill them now. Oh my God, what just divine they both are.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We have a lot of science and opposite of science catch discussions.
Oh, nice.
So he's my bug buddy on some level. And then in the end, apparently, there was it was very funny. I remember.
Hey guys, welcome to our Candid Conversation series. In our very first episode today, we have the supremely talented and versatile Sheba Chadda. You may remember her as Anupama from Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, or more recently as Vasudha Pandit from Mirzapur and Mohini Rathod from Bandish Bandits.
तुझे उस घर वापस जाना होगा।
नहीं बाबा, जो कुछ भी हो जाए उस घर में वापस नहीं जाऊंगी।
अनु, भरत को भूलकर तुझे ससुराल जाना ही होगा।
मर जाऊंगी बाबा, लेकिन उस घर में वापस नहीं जाऊंगी।
एक ना हमें कुछ दिनों से बात करनी थी तुम लोगों से। सोच रहे थे वो जो परचूनिया है ना, जो इससे हम सौदा लेते, वो कुछ इज्जत से बात नहीं करता हमसे सही से, हमें अच्छा नहीं लगता।
तेरा संगीत, तेरा रियाज हम तेरे अंदर के संगीत की खोज से शुरू करेंगे।
अरे भाई, मैंने आपके मेहमानों को आते ही डरा दिया ना। एक लड़की जो अपने मन की सुनती है और दिल खोल के हंसती है, मर्दों के लिए उससे ज्यादा डरावना और क्या हो सकता है?
Be it films, web series, theatre, or ads, her performances have always struck a chord with the audience. Our Candid Conversation series is all about understanding more about the people behind these wonderful roles, our humble attempt to understand them and their journeys. We really hope you like this video. Please subscribe to Binge Buddies if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up and share this video with as many people as you can so we can get many more guests to our Candid Conversation series. Over to Saurabh.
Welcome to Binge Buddies. Thank you so much for taking out the time. It's really an honor to be speaking with you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
I saw you first in Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam as Anupama, and more like very recently in Bandish Bandits as Mohini. Did you realize in Mohini you had very few dialogues compared to your presence on screen across 10 episodes?
Yeah, so that's what I have been saying in some interviews, that I didn't realize that when I read the script or even while shooting, literally.
Yeah.
But literally, it first struck me when Atul had called up after he watched it.
Okay.
Sort of whatever, congratulate and all. And he said, but Shiva, it was quite this thing that you hardly had any lines and you whatever. So that's when it struck me that, oh yeah, that's true. I really didn't have too many lines, or even in terms of presence, it just sort of grows bigger towards the latter half. But I really did not realize it when I read the script that lines to kam hi hai ya kam hi bolti hai. So yeah.
But precisely the way you've acted through your facial expressions, there are only handful of actors who, even in this time and age, who can do this so convincingly. It was something absolutely amazing to experience while watching that show.
Yeah.
So you've done overall around 26 films already. I'm considering ones which have released.
Uncounted. How funny. I've never counted. 26, yeah?
26, yes. Considering Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam in 1998 as your first one, then they'll say, so counting from there till to 2020, your most recent as Shakuntala Devi, you've done around 26 films. It's really hard to believe. It's been 2 decades you've been out there. How do you feel?
I haven't thought कि वो 2 decades हो गए हैं, but when I look at the early days, really early days, yeah, that does seem far away now. That does seem quite far away, and I'm glad that is far away. And I am where I am today, and I'm quite happy to be here. Yeah.
We've seen you as Mohini in Bandish Bandits. We've seen you as Vasudha Ji in Mirzapur. We've seen you as Mumtaz in Taj Mahal. We really know, okay, this is the part, the character, but we would like to know who Sheba Chadda is as a person, as an individual off the camera.
I think it takes one full lifetime for one person also to know that about oneself.
That is so true. That is so true.
Yeah, truly.
Can you tell us slightly about your earlier days, like how was your schooling and your college days? What was that experience
Mm.
like?
Yeah. The fully backbencher child in school in Delhi, no interest in academics whatsoever. And how our education system is the kind where it's trying to ask a fish to climb a tree. That's our education system. So for kids like us who are not into academics and who are driven by other things or other things motivate us or
Yeah.
excite us, or are our strong points. So our education system, I think, never takes into account those kids because our society has an idea of success, which is a certain thing,
Right.
and I think it starts from our education system, which is deeply flawed. So I'm a product of that flawed system where I was always made to feel quite that, very bad and very bright, but not applying yourself and always daydreaming and always, not interested in studies. And I had an older sister who was really good in academics and one of those really good girls. So I was not one of those. Backbencher, always very interested in extracurricular activities. I studied in a all-girls convent in Delhi, Carmel Convent, the name is, and I used to at that time also find the rules of school very binding, so I never used to like them. And I used to be very good. I remember in elocution, used to go for inter-school elocution contest and get the first prize for my school,
Nice.
and got very interested in theatre in school time only. So that started very early and very organically, and nothing to do with the family because the family was a completely very business family. That's nothing to do with art in anywhere. And
Yeah.
so then
Yeah.
that was also a struggle. I think my rebelliousness and my just knowing that this is what I want to do somewhere. I think I just knew that I really that I want to do it, so in the sense not like as a career or anything, but that this really really draws me, and this is a world I really want to be a part of. Theatre world is what I knew even then.
Yeah.
And I think I pretty much plowed through, yeah, and I'm very glad I didn't give up in face of resistance or whatever at home. So I had a pretty mixed bag of response from home. First, there was a lot of resistance, but then my mom was also along the way would let me do this or help me do that, or
Yeah.
allow me to go for rehearsals with, but then we would come back late and then they'd be screaming, shouting, but still so a little bit of push from my side, a pull from her side, and
Yeah.
it just continued a bit like that. But not like how I see now, no, how kids, when they're interested in anything to do with the arts, how we as parents, we're like mental, we like go like 10 hoops, we'll jump through 10 hoops to make it possible for them, make it whatever.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like that in our time,
Good.
certainly not in my family. And so it wasn't easy, but I plowed through and I'm glad.
Amazing. I think somewhere having an elder sister put that pressure was taken care by her parents were maybe slightly, yeah, okay, she's
Yeah,
one.
she helped a lot, she did help a lot, so that was a good thing. Yeah.
Has it been challenging juggle a good work-life balance between hectic filming schedules and maintaining and being as a parent?
It's very difficult, yeah. It's I really think because we're all nuclear family care products, and I really still think it takes like a village to raise a child. So it's very difficult, and I have had to leave a lot of work projects
Yeah.
because I could not juggle.
Yeah.
But now going forward, my daughter's 14, so I'm hoping it's going to get better because yeah, I'd like to focus a little bit more on work now going forward, which I haven't. Work has always been one of those very sidey things, which are guy side mein, na? So literally, my focus has always been on other things in life. But maybe now is the time because she is 14, is a little older, and I think I'm feeling also more drawn towards my work now than I have been in the past. And so the thought of actually maybe taking it more seriously than I have earlier is coming organically now.
That's amazing to hear because we will get to see more of you in multiple projects. You've been part of every possible platform or art form out there, which is you say movies, TV series, web shows, YouTube web series, theater plays. Which one do you?
Ads.
Ads, of course, ads. And out of all this, which do you personally is your favorite as an actor?
First, if you asked me some 5, 6 years back, I would have said theatre. but I don't feel that way anymore. And it's very organically, I have felt there's a change in that theatre, which will never go for me. I think as a love, it will never go. Even the web. Oh, I'm sorry, it's so difficult because in web actually is where one is getting to do the exciting work right now, actually.
True, very true.
Much more exciting work. So it's very difficult. It's all of them, yeah. Cinema, when the work is really good, yes.
Yeah.
But then actually, the right answer for me would be to say web then, because in web, for actors like us, roles are really getting to be more and more interesting now.
Has it been like a very close call and you had to choose one between two projects? You love
Yeah,
two
yeah.
projects.
Kabhi, along the way that does happen.
Yeah.
Of course that happens. Because dates are not matching and, but you have to then choose and, that happens.
As an individual, you go by your gut feeling, or you're more of a practical person, you try and apply logical thinking to that process while choosing your projects?
I think it's a mixture of both, logic in terms of when you're looking at several practical or technical things related to a project, but gut totally in terms of how I respond to a script, I think, The practical part is also, of course, there. What's the production value? What are the economics of it? It's a mixture of everything, to say yes or no to a project.
If I may ask, out of all these characters you've played across so many years, which was the most challenging for you to whether to get into that role or to prepare for that part?
I don't do too much preparing, I'm not good at that preparing business. But I think in Taj Mahal, it was a bit difficult because I'm not good with dialects. And this character Mumtaz has this very strong dialect, which is Avdi dialect. So she has to switch between Avdi and Urdu. That's how apparently they speak in that part of UP. So in certain contexts, they will be speaking Avdi, and then suddenly they'll just switch to Urdu. So Avdi was tough. So I would say Mumtaz.
Nice, so nice. If you have to name your top favorite 3 TV shows and movies across all genres, what would be that?
Movies are many,
Yeah, it's too
very
difficult.
tough to say. Many. I mean, I love. There's a movie called "In the Mood for Love" by Wong Kar-wai, which I just absolutely love. I love Matrix. I love Lost in Translation. That's Sofia Coppola's film. I love so many films. God. But in terms of web, there's a show called Fleabag on Amazon. Which I think is fantastic. I just love that show completely. I've just finished watching Big Bang Theory with my daughter. Binge watched it, and I think it's lovely. I can't believe I didn't see the show all these years. I'd heard about it, of course, long, but it's fantastic. I love Big Bang Theory. But films are just many.
I can understand.
Janabi Do Yaro, Maqbool, I love those films.
Sarah here is a PhD herself, and she related to Big Bang Theory so much. She actually put out a message to the team and in general on social media thanking to the show to be there during her PhD years to accompany her.
It's a lovely one. What was her PhD in? What did she do?
She did in plant sciences. So, but Big Bang Theory, that's her go-to show, and my second all-time favorite show. Big Bang Theory is absolutely amazing.
Yours also, wow.
So, difficult to imagine Sheldon as anything else. In
that's the thing. No, with all the Friends characters also, it's the same. It's so difficult to. That's the thing. But, that's the price to pay for that kind of success. No, I think actors do that.
Absolutely.
What do you say? It's very difficult. But Sheldon and even Leonard, my God, what just divine they both are.
Absolutely. So we have recently finished, couple of weeks back, watching A Suitable Boy. And suddenly...
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Where did you see it? Oh, you live in London. Oh, shit. I was there exactly this time last year. It's now mid-September. Exactly this time I was there last year, shooting for Shakuntala Devi. Exactly this time. I haven't seen it yet. So I'm waiting for it to come on Netflix,
Oh, yes. Across so many work you've done, I've never seen you... Okay, you're there and that's it. And that's it. I want more of it.
My God. if Meera would have asked me to just come and do a passing also from behind, no, I would have done it. I love her so much.
Of
I,
course, of course.
it's
Amazing.
just great to be a part of the project, even if it's just one scene, and just to work with her. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
like I love her.
I was
totally.
about to ask you, like, how you did that, and one part. I'm sure that must have meant so much that you agreed to do one scene in the whole scene.
Yeah, I
So
just love her. Yeah.
you of course have some amount of respect and love. What was that whole experience going on there, sitting across Meera Nair ma'am and the team? How was that whole experience?
Well, Meera, I've known a little bit from before because she has come to see our theatre work a couple of times. She once came 100 years back in Delhi. We were doing a play, which was directed by Rajat Kapoor. So she came to see that show. And then there's a play which we had taken to New York. And she was in New York at that time. So she'd come to see the show, and then we all hung out for dinner after that and all. Just so happy to be a part of that project, and just happy to have worked on whatever level with Meera. Yeah, just
Yeah, it was
yeah, anything. You liked it a lot?
it is beautiful. It touches, and it's the first BBC drama in the history of BBC where the whole cast is only Indian or Asian Indians. In
Just this
October.
morning, I had messaged Namit because he sent me a message for some film that he had produced and acted in.
Yeah.
So he wanted me to see it. So I had just seen it, and then I just asked him just this morning that when is it coming on Netflix, and he's not replied yet. But but wow, so I'm hoping. Yeah.
I was actually yesterday chatting with Namit and about his tape, A Love Story with he and his wife.
Tape only, that's what he sent me to watch.
It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's a sweet film, yeah.
We are going through a strange time globally due to this pandemic and the whole lockdown and scenario. How have you been taking it? Was it a blessing in disguise to get some time off, focus on important things? You made it more productive, or was it like, bas karo, ab jana hai, khatam karo? What was your take on it?
I think it's been overall an extremely difficult time because I pretty much live quite lockdowny in a way.
Okay.
I pretty much I'm not very social. I don't do a lot of that. So but that's thing of choice. When it's not choice and it's enforced, then it's another ball game altogether.
Exactly.
And now going forward, it's just been a very, very difficult time in our country, particularly for many, many reasons. I'm very disappointed and very upset and hurt with what is going on in our country politically right now.
Yeah.
So the lockdown seems to have amped everything up and brought a lot of shit out of the open, I think.
True.
Which has been very sad. And of course, for lack of a better word, we are privileged, right? We belong to the entitled privileged lot. That's also another very it's a difficult zone to navigate in a time like this, and then also going forward, when is it ever going to be okay, and what will that okay mean? So I'm just hoping it will be something that finally makes us all grow and look at ourselves. Everybody's saying this, I know, but I don't even know what that look at ourselves mean. But I think this time it's like whatever the demons are of people and their darknesses, I feel everything would have come up to the surface. This is that time. I believe energetically, cosmically also, I believe that it's not for no reason that this time has come. It is a time of great churning and a change. Change is sometimes very good, and change is many times very, very painful. And it's like a rite of passage in a way of fire. And I think many people are going through it. So it's what is the word? It's like a manthan. It's like at that time now.
I can understand. I absolutely relate, because I am equally like a person who does not like to step out unless there is an absolute need for it. I am more than happy. I'm literally.
My daughter tells me, how what a boring. I like you have no social life. It's so boring. Which is true. I don't know how it became over the years, but it did. And I'm also not somebody who likes to be working back to back. I know many actors love to go from one set to the other, and I don't. I really do like my time in the middle. I like my time just by myself. So I'm a little bit anal about that. And
Okay, let's play a quick game. Like, I'll take a couple of names of your co-actors you worked with. Just share whatever first word or couple of words come to your mind.
okay.
Okay. Let's start with Vidya Balan.
Oh, she's really sparkly and bright.
Alia Bhatt.
Alia, I think, is very smart. I think she's very clever.
Nice. Sanya Malhotra.
Sanya is again like this is very. She's like a powerhouse of energy. I feel, and in a lot of intuitive knowing. Yeah.
Nice. Bhumi Pednekar. You worked with her in her debut movie.
Yeah. Bhumi is she's a people's person. I feel very. She's a team player. She's very lovely and warm. Yeah.
Nice. Let's move on to the web side of it. Atul Kulkarni. What a chemistry there.
He reminds me of a like a, a bit of a. The word is not machine. But he knows. He's very like I feel one would have to dig very deep for emotions in him. Is my feeling. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Rajesh Telang.
Oh, he's very. He's bumbling and very. We have a lot of science and opposite of science catch discussions.
Oh, nice.
So he's my bug buddy on some level on set. Yeah.
That's amazing. So a lot of banter happening because you worked with him in Mirzapur as well.
Yeah, because there are so many things that he doesn't agree with mine, or like just stuff that we think of stuff in life. He's very scientific bent in one way, and I love science, but I love the non-science. What is not considered science yet, which I keep saying that it will come to be science in some time. That's science. So yeah. But so great to work. Great co-actor.
Amazing. Ali Fazal.
Oh, Ali he's God's child. I think he's. I really love him.
Nice. Yeah. And lastly, Ritwik Bhowmik.
Oh, he's again. Like I've been saying in all my interviews that he's just a supremely well brought up boy and very lovely and just delightful.
That's amazing. We all can't wait now for 23rd October for Mirzapur season 2 to come out. To see Vasudha Pandit out there in that world. It's a complete different world created by the team. How was that season 1? Did you there is sometimes that intuition or gut feeling while filming, this is gonna be big, and sometimes it's like, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I didn't have any such gut feeling actually. Really, actually, because one still doesn't know what kind of beasts work on one level, and I think Mirzapur was one of the first ones in this genre to do so well. Probably, I'm not sure.
Yep.
So I've come in totally bilkul in cold and come in, no idea at all, but just fun of shooting that. In fact, somebody else, Aisha Raza, was supposed to do the role that I did, and then in the end, apparently. It was very funny. I remember I had auditioned for this role, and it didn't work out. So I didn't get a call. So I figured I've not got it. Then one day I just get a call that we have to shoot. Can you please, ma'am, do you have the dates? So, okay, that worked out and I did. And they said that, I said, so, okay, so obviously who was doing it? So they said Aisha was supposed to do it, but ma'am, there's been some date issues. So we're telling you, so if you can come on board, it'll be good. So anyway, when I went to Banaras to shoot, and then I met the director, Karan Anshuman, and then I said, "Why did you? Is there something that because you cast somebody else, and there must be some quality that you were looking for,
Right.
and then you should tell me, because then I'd like to see if I can work around that thing. So he said, no, ma'am. The only thing was that Aisha has fat cheeks, and I thought that it will be very nice if she held a gun. Someone like her would hold a gun, and it will just be like something that, very, a homemaker
Yeah.
with these plump cheeks
Yeah.
holding a gun. That image. So that was I mean, what a thing, yeah. So,
What an imagination
yeah.
to have you
Yeah.
in.
But I'm saying the reasons why people get cast, they're
Yeah.
so, you're just
Different
not knowing
sometimes. Yeah,
really.
it's not to do with look, or sometimes it's just that.
Yeah, it's just something, what a director wants or has in his mind to actualize his vision. It's really something, So actors take it so personally that I didn't get cast or whatever. But I think there are 50 reasons why,
Yeah.
you do or you don't get cast.
True.
Really, yeah.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. That's amazing. Thank you once again. We wish you all the very best for Mirzapur season 2, and we
Thank
can't
you.
wait to see you in many other projects lined up.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank you
so much.
so
And all the
much.
best to all of you. God bless. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.